You are listening to Roots and Rise with Kels and Madi.
Rooted in wisdom, rising together.
New episode, same formation.
We got up and we sat right back down. Here we are.
Yep. Pause, hold, record.
Get us into this subject.
Oh, yeah. I had to write it down.
So that we can kind of get the gist. Because when you said it initially, I was like, I had one idea, and then now I'm thinking it's coming up completely differently in my mind. So
Okay, so loneliness in a crowded life, right? The way we can feel surrounded by people and still feel unknown. And this basically is a segue into the codependency of the church and the faith. And what that means is that a lot of people, I want to touch on the word codependency because I have done so much work on it. It's a huge part of my personality and a disassembling that I've had to do through therapy and prayer. And codependency does not mean we can't live without each other. We just do everything together. We're codependent because we have to have each other. No. That's not what codependency means. Codependency means I need to be in control of the way you live your life because it makes me uncomfortable or unsettled the way you're living it.
Okay.
So in terms of a marriage, codependency is usually quite prevalent, or a parent-child. Actually, codependency is very present a lot of times in parent-child relationships where it's, I feel that the way I view this is better and you need to operate like I want to operate.
Yeah.
You need to dress like this. You need to talk like this. You need to, and a lot of times that happens in marriages of, well, you're an extension of me.
And what you're breaking it down to is another person being dependent on someone else for their internal peace.
Yes. That is nail on the, yes. So your peace being reliant on somebody else whom you truly can't control.
Yeah.
So it is a spiral.
Yeah.
A never-ending one. Can attest to that. You cannot control anybody but yourself.
Yep.
That's the quote of all quotes, okay? So codependent doesn't mean I can't live without you. Codependent means I can't live in peace without you doing what I want you to do.
Yep. Okay.
Okay?
Got
So
you.
to relate
Tracking.
that to the church, I think a lot of turmoil we see. And before we get further into this, I do want to give a disclaimer that we are not scholars. We are not well-versed and studied in the Bible in a way which I would feel confident like writing a book on it at all. We're also not brand new green. Like we have a
We've been at it for a
blueprint
while.
of faith.
Yeah.
We're in that middle ground where I think a lot of us lie, but a lot of us feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't know enough to be an expert, but I do know that I have a strong faith. Who am I to talk about this? That's why we're here. We want to be a voice for the people that are halfway in. Not halfway in. That sounds like you're like halfway in on your faith, but maybe you are halfway in. Like, yes,
I
you
think
wrestle
that
with
this
doubts.
also, like what you're kind of trying to communicate is we're not pretending to be pastors or reverends. I will say that we have a little bit of a leg up in the sense that we lead in our communities, and I lead worship every Sunday. So I think that there is this piece where we've been diving into our faith a lot over the years, but more now than ever, especially as moms, and kind of within the realm of like where we're at in the season of life, we just recognize that somebody normal needs to be talking about these things.
Yes.
And we need to be talking about them in a transparent way and not be afraid that there's going to be some sort of backlash, because I think that when we don't communicate about it at all, then truly nothing gets solved.
Yeah.
And then people continue to live in confusion and frustration. And we're seeing people turn away in droves from the church. We're seeing people turn away in droves from faith in general and from God. And it's like, it's because no one feels comfortable enough to talk about anything, or that they don't feel like They're going to be accepted if they have a differing opinion or differing views. And at the end of the day, I have a very strong feeling that no one actually gets a final say,
Yeah.
that no one is going to be at the gates standing next to God, with the exception of Jesus himself, and is going to be like, you know what? You were wrong on earth, so
Yeah.
hike it,
Get
friend.
gone.
Yeah, and so it's like you can spend all your time and all your energy judging and all of your energy saying this is what's right and this is what's wrong. You truly do not get the final say. So I want us to take a minute
Mm-hmm.
and take a breath, and let's listen to our brothers and sisters, have a conversation, and maybe we'll get a little closer to the Lord, which is all he's asked us to do. It's all he's asked us to do, is get closer to him in relationship and to become more like him with the love in our hearts. Until that's perfected, the rest of it is just a wash.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that this episode could be a lot shorter than we thought, because codependency in the church, I think, is what's deterring so many people from their faith, especially in our generation, is, well, if you're not X, Y, and Z, you're not worthy of being a Christian.
which, let's break that down, okay? So I'm not even gonna play with you right now. I am standing on the stage every Sunday, speaking scripture, singing songs, speaking to my congregation. It's me and my other music director, and we lead that at the staff, right? So if you were to look through all of my life and you were to comb through all of the sin, all of the mess, all of the stuff that you would not prefer to see on that stage, there's no way I would. I mean, I even told my bosses when they first interviewed me, I was like, here are all of the things that are wrong with me. Now you can decide.
Yeah.
Like, if you really, because I need you to know that I'm coming to you imperfect, and I'm coming to you in a more seasoned version of myself. I'm not nearly what I once was. That doesn't mean I disown that version of me. I own her completely. And I'm not ashamed of everything I experienced, because God has brought me through it and has taught me who I am through some of those experiences. Let's not discount her. And they had no issue, because they knew that those experiences are going to make us more empathetic.
Yes, that's what makes us closer.
It's going to make us closer. It's going to draw us closer to a relationship with the Lord. So my question is, what makes you unworthy of being in a relationship with God? Like, what could that possibly be?
It's honestly jarring, because nothing,
Yeah.
even the most horrific, like,
Oh, and I mean, like, I can't even, because there's some stuff where I'm
no,
like,
but nobody is unworthy of a relationship with God. And
Amen.
none of us are worthy of judging that.
That's why
There
I'm
is
like,
one thing I always I visualize everything. Like, when I close my eyes, there's pictures. Everything works better with a mental image for
yep,
me.
for sure.
And so I tend to visualize things like categorically by their size. Okay. So, for instance, when I think of Christianity, it's like an upside down, well, it's more like a dome. And the biggest part of the dome that just sits on top of everything is just love.
Yeah.
Right? So here's the big love. And then, like, little slivers, almost like a rainbow, but the next parts of the rainbows are really thin, is all the little parts of Christianity that's like, make sure you're doing this, make sure you're doing this. Like, this is a great way to show, like, maybe don't cuss so much, or maybe don't, little things that,
Mm.
right, like, we're going to work on that. But it's like under the huge umbrella of love. Like, once I've accomplished the whole, oh, I'm doing love in everything I do, then I'll focus more on those other
But
ones.
isn't it interesting that when you do focus on love, actually a lot of those actions take care of itself?
They do,
So,
yeah.
I mean, when you're focusing on love, like when I'm in my most angry seasons, like I certainly struggle a lot with anger. And my friend and I, one of my dear friends, Alex, we talk about the things like that we struggle with in motherhood. Well, anger has to be one of them. I mean, we all kind of have to be touching on that.
Yes.
And I think that when you pray into anger, for example, when you're super rage filled because of X, Y, and Z, I think that the softening of your heart, I mean, my therapist has always said, anger is a secondary emotion. It does not actually come primary, because
Right.
usually it's hurt, resentment, sadness, pain. Like those things are coming first.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to end up diving in deeper with God when you say rage or anger is like a sin or whatever. I don't know if that's like, I think wrath
Yeah.
is it, but wrath is different. Well, I don't know how to break that down, but wrath is not the same as feeling angry because your
I
hormones
don't
are
think
going all
feeling
over the
angry is a
place.
sin,
Well, no, I don't think
right?
feeling angry is a sin. I think being like
Maybe the
taking it out on individuals
yes,
is
like screaming
sinful.
at someone or
Yes.
being resentful.
And here's the thing, admittance, I've done it. Like
Oh,
I've taken it out
haven't
on
we all?
people.
Yeah.
So when that happens and you feel that conviction and you take it to God, I have never not been greeted with a peaceful encounter that says, I love you,
Mm-hmm.
I've got you, I understand, talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so many verses come to mind, and a lot of it always comes with, I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And God always comes back with, I have a plan for you. I have a purpose for you.
Mm-hmm.
Plans to prosper you, not to harm you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a plan for you. It's and that some of those scriptures I cling on to really, really tightly. But I think that also this is a segue, but I think within the context of what we're talking about with codependency with the church and forcing people and wanting to force people into a image that works for you, that makes you most comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I think that God is not necessarily calling us to comfort,
We have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
which my therapist likes to remind me of
I love that.
regularly.
I love that. I love that because to me, it's like an exercise, right? And the more you do it, the more you're like, yeah, let's do this. I'm uncomfy. Something good's about to happen.
It's when's the last time you remember
Being uncomfortable.
feeling that sensation and feeling like God kind of
Every
pulling you
day
through
that
it?
I parent,
You're like, I'm so uncomfortable.
honestly, I live in a state of discomfort. I have had to really learn, having 4 daughters who are all very emotional and loud and talk at the same time, how to be the thermostat and how to be like, God, give me a little grace right now. Don't let me freak out. Make sure they know the difference between me yelling and me having to be heard. And um, surrendering. Like, I am not in charge of my children's emotions. I'm really not even in charge of like them. I'm just here to guide them. They're a gift to me. And a lot of times it's in that surrender where I'm like, you're going to mess up.
Hmm.
You're going to hurt. You're going to suffer. You're going to have a hard time today. That's okay.
Yeah.
I got to let go of that. It makes me uncomfortable as a mother.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to suffer, but like, how else are they going to grow?
Yeah.
I, you know,
I need to probably address that with myself, but I can't right now.
yeah, that's fine.
Like I need to right now we are in immense discomfort trying to
Mhm.
protect our daughters from multiple generations on both of our
Mhm.
family's side of addiction.
Yeah.
And we are pulling, like, I don't think you could possibly, no one really beside, unless you like have walked with me through this, can understand the lengths that we have gone to protect our daughters from being exposed to this. And it is, when I tell you it's uncomfortable, it's like, it's just, it racks us. It's
Mhm.
awful. And
Mhm.
but I also feel that I can't find, I am like, we're literally in the messy middle of this right
Mhm.
now of trying to figure out um, how much of this is us trying to fit. We're really not trying to control adults. We know that
Right.
adults are going to do what they're going to do, and we're actually not judging those adults for those
Yeah.
choices. Like you're going to do what you're going to do, and that's
We're just
cool.
gonna have a
Like
healthy boundary with it. Yeah.
we're gonna, but we don't set boundaries. We've never set them as kids or teenagers. We didn't know about that, so
Yeah.
boundaries is new, and so and we've talked about it last season, but it's like, it's something that we're trying to implement in real time for our kids. And unfortunately, that's where the rage comes in, is I'm like, I'll kill you if you come near my children.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to like find, where is grace? Where is grace and where is love mixed in with the fact that I am primally set to protect them. And so I'm also doing everything I can to be like, we'll commune with you, but you can't commune with them. And like, where does that fall in Christianity? Because I'm good because I'm an adult and I'm a consenting adult and I can figure out and I can make my own choices. They're 3 and 2.
Yeah.
They don't get a choice, so they're not coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the proper approach to it.
But it's just interesting because it makes you feel like no matter what, you're going to lose, because if you like something that I had gotten into a conversation with a congregation member not too long ago was like, they disagreed with Maddie and I's church's approach on love, because we are really trying to force people to understand that love is the first commandment and it's the most important one. It is the most important to love your neighbor as yourself, to love God above all else. Like, that is the most important thing. And because it's a society where we're kind of failing at that in general, we have to kind of refocus ourselves.
But okay, yeah, but
yeah, everybody. I thought you were saying, but I was like, no. Like, that people are like, well, what about? I mean,
you must love each other above all else. Okay, but listen.
Yeah, and mainly.
And what about?
Mainly, it's the conversation about homosexuality in the church, and you're just like, I think that you have focused on one subject because you have issues that are far deeper that you don't want to address, but that issue can take care of. You can focus your pain and your resentment and your rage and the things that are painful to you on that subject, rather than the fact that maybe your parents might have abandoned you when you were younger. And they, respectfully, I love you, Dad, but I didn't meet him for 16 years of my life. And it's like, you could easily take rage you have for something and put it on something else and really focus on that. But I'm like, you guys, we got bigger fish to fry. We have marriages falling apart at exponential rates. We have children that are being essentially left to the wolves with social media and with bullying and with whatever. And we have parents who are working multiple jobs because we have a society that is not supporting lower middle class individuals. And there is a laundry list. I mean, food is unbelievably expensive. If you're focusing on that one issue in the church, you should go volunteer for the food bank or for the food ministries that your church is taking part in. You should go focus in other areas so that you can reprioritize. And if it's still a frustration for you, fair, understood.
Yeah.
But I need you to take a minute to take your focus off of it and put it on something else, because I think that's a huge problem that we have, the American church, but I would say the worldwide church, has decided that they're wanting to attack the most when we have people that are starving in our own very backyards.
Yeah.
We've got bigger fish to fry, in my opinion.
Yeah, under that like rainbow umbrella. And even if it's not that topic, people get hung up on a lot of fear-based topics within the church, right? And I get the codependent mindset, because I by nature have been a very codependent person of like, well, I love you so much. I want you to be better so that your life will be better. And I want to fix you. And I want to just listen to me. And if you do what I say, like, you will feel so much better. And I get that is what a lot of people in our faith are trying to do. Like, just listen to me, just do what I say, and your life will be so much better, because they have a fear. They have a fear that, oh, you won't go to heaven, or, oh, you won't live this life. But I think if we step back and go, that's not our problem. Our purpose is to just be and show God's love.
Period.
he's not giving us the, like, he's not giving that job to us to be like, hey, you're doing it wrong. Let me fix you. He's saying, let me shine through you, draw people closer to me through your love.
I guess my question is, do people not trust that God will fix
I
will
think
fix
it's
us?
I think it's that it's just a different perception,
Yeah.
different perspective on it of I'm sent on earth to proclaim God's message, which to some people is very
Black and white in a
black and
box. Yeah.
white, black and white. And I get that. Like everyone's life journey and perspective is so different. But I think we're trying to offer maybe a broader perspective of we don't have to control other people. Above all else, we are called to love. And everybody can love.
Mm-hmm.
And people will be drawn to the church and to God's love through you if you just show that. It's not enabling. It's not saying you can fully disagree with someone and still be kind and love them. You don't even have to tell them.
I mean, I think that you're right. I know you're right. I think that the going the conversation that I hear a lot is like the going out and making disciples is interpreted differently by a lot of people.
Yes.
And some people believe it's literally go out and like knock on people's doors and like convince them to accept Christ and like be baptized, and that's what has to happen. But I think as a church to move closer to the transformation of the heart
Yes.
and to understand that the heart is where God will work within. And I mean, if you again mentioned it already, we'll mention it again. God can do anything. He can do anything, far more than we could guess or request in our wildest dreams. He does it not by pushing us around. He does it by working within us, his spirit moving deeply and gently within us. This verse in Ephesians 3:20 is the one that I cling on to because it is literally my testimony. This is the verse that has transformed my life because it is the verse that is the example of how God has moved in me. And it's how I've seen him move through everyone else. I've seen him move it through my husband, who married me, not quite believing, like kind of on the fringe. He had been baptized, sort
Yeah.
of like kind of at the time where we were in our relationship. I was like, you have to be baptized. Like the Lord has to. I mean, I was like in a different place in my religion or in my faith where I was like, I was a little bit more and like that's why I say I speak all of this from experience. I used to pass out Bibles on the college campus. I used to walk around at OCU with Bibles in my hands, and I would outbeat the Latter-day Saints or whatever because they would be on the church, they'd be on the campus, and I'd be like, "Get out of here! Like this is
my
this is
territory."
actually my spot that I stand." And I'd be handing out. I mean, I had a friend who was Jewish, and I was like, "Here," and he was like, "No," and I was like, yes. Like I was disrespectful. I walked out of my world religions class at one point because I was like, you're wrong. And I mean, I was that girl. So
You
like,
were
don't,
that, yeah.
So please understand.
She comes from a
I
place of
come
knowing.
from a place of knowing. Like, I'm not saying this because I've been like loosey goose I was like, my boyfriend and I wouldn't hold hands for a year.
Yeah, we were
because
very different.
It was different. It was different back then.
Yeah.
So whole story is that like I was dating Hunter, like, or we were like talking about dating, and I was like, you have to get baptized because like I can't be with you if you're not baptized. He got baptized, and then the conversation after that was like, I mean, I don't know what you want me to do with this. Like, I mean, I'm happy to be doing it, but like I don't know what you want me to do. And in that moment, I remember being like so upset, and it was exactly what Maddie is talking about, codependency in Christianity, where I was like, but what do you mean? Like you have to be this way. Y'all, when I released control of that man, and when I released control over our future and released it to God and said, God, I love him so much. I want you to take him and make him yours and only yours. And I want whatever you have for him, even if that means it's not with me.
Yeah.
I was like, I want this man to have, and it'll make me emotional because it's early in the morning, but I was like, this man has something else planned for him that is far greater than I could ever have planned. to see him now, it is, okay, it's so um, unbelievable to witness because it wasn't anything I did. And it wasn't anything anyone else did. It wasn't anything that the church necessarily did, but it is what God did through him, gently over time, bringing nothing but love into that man's life and guiding him gently around the sharp edges to soften his heart to then make him the man and the leader that he is today. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. I didn't do a thing.
Well, you prayed.
I
And
prayed,
you
but
let go.
that was it.
And
I
it's like
prayed and I
Oprah
let go.
says, if you love something, let it go. And if it's meant for you, it will come back.
And I mean, so I just see that in general, and I don't mean to get on my high horse about topics that are hot button because I understand we have a lot of listeners on different sides of the fence, and I want you to know
We respect it all.
we respect it all. Wherever you sit, we know where you're coming from because we've literally sat in we've walked in your shoes in more ways than you could ever know. But I want you to know that I'm thrilled that you have a conviction one way or the other because that's the start. That's the ignition. That's the fire in your heart that God is setting. That's not there on accident, but that I want you to fuel that into finding those who are in need of God's love in a way that really only you can provide.
Yes.
And that might mean getting coffee with somebody that's been on your heart. And even if that heart has been in turmoil about that person, but reaching out to them, letting them know that you're thinking of them, letting them know that you want to get them coffee, that you want to, sit down with them and spend time with them. Again, even if it's like this feeling, the uncomfortable, even if there's discomfort, if you're feeling a little judgmental toward a certain people group, or if you feel that people group is judgmental toward you, whatever boat you're in, I ask you to turn that into service. I ask you to turn those feelings and go volunteer, go serve, because for whatever reason, it's the antidote.
It is to create a servant heart within yourself is the antidote.
It removes the ego very quickly. And it
reminds you that we're all equal.
And it reminds us that we're equal and that we were never meant to be put on this earth to be kings. We were meant on this earth to serve the king. And so we are here to serve. That's it.
This conversation reminds me of, I listened to a podcast one time that was talking about the role of a mother is the most Christ-like thing on earth, right? Like, you have these children and you love them more than you can even fathom. You can't put words to it. And they just slowly break your heart every day, right? And that's our relationship with God. He loves us more than we could ever imagine. And we just kind of slowly break his heart every day.
I know.
Unwillingly sometimes on because we're just humans. And it was saying the role of a mother is to be as Christ-like as possible, which means you love and you listen and you support and you're unwavering in that love no matter what. You're always there. You're not going to enable bad behavior, but you're not going to shame either. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that instead of leaning into that codependency of you should, you would, you could, saying, I love you no matter what. I'm here for you. If you want advice, you can ask me. I will tell you how I feel. You don't have to take it. But if you're asking me, this is what I would do. But I love you no matter what. You're always welcome back. I love you. Period. I mean, can you imagine, like, as a child going to your parent and saying, I did this, I broke this, I got in trouble for this, and them giving you a big hug and saying, I don't love that you did that, but I love you so much. What a relief that would feel to be just loved like that. What if we all could feel like that? I feel like there's this secret key that like once it turns, society and like the world we live in is just going to be like, ah, like this is heaven on earth, right? And it's when everyone hits that point of like, I don't love what you did, but I love you.
Uh, I think I just I have so many thoughts, and it's like that's why I think it's just not as it's not. I wish I had the words for how I want to describe this. I keep thinking about like all of the wars that have been fought, all of the heartache, and all of the just the things that have broken God's heart over the years. And if we had just reacted that way instead, or had conversations. And I'm sort of like getting this like flood of almost like history and people like King Henry VIII. And I'm like, if you had just got it together, King Henry VIII, like if you could have just
So many things could have been
like
different.
if you had, I don't know why I'm thinking about King Henry VIII.
Less wives.
I mean, all of those wives were so lovely, but I also think that like I don't know. I'm glad everything
Yeah.
happens. God can turn anything good from the ashes.
Well, I
but
mean that it was a creation of the Episcopal Church, which I was raised in, which brought me to my faith.
Thank
so
you.
there we go.
Yeah, thank you God
Henry VIII.
for utilizing. Yeah. No, I don't know why I'm thinking about King Henry VIII. I think it's because I was watching The Tudors the other night.
Probably.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
But the ADHD is rearing, y'all. I'm so sorry.
As the sun is rising, so
I think
is
it's
the
because I can see. No, the sun rises and it's like like that's I don't know how.
She's coming alive.
No, it's like a vampire when the sun rises and they start to like either sparkle or turn into ash, depending on which version you're watching. Did you know?
I saw this.
Oh my God. Twilight's coming to theaters in October, and I will only ever be there. If you need to find me, that's where I'll
Really
be.
going to be the best fall ever.
If you want to find me, that's where I'll be, because that's the only thing I care about besides
Twilight, Wicked, Taylor Swift.
The Summer I Turned Pretty, because I love that TV show.
Watch that.
Courtney's watching it now, and she says she can't stop watching it, and that means that you have to start watching it.
I started it, and it was just not for me.
Because you didn't get through it. It's like it needs
I just kept seeing everything from the point of view of being their mother.
I'm perpetually 14, so that's just
works.
the way it goes.
Yeah, I was like, God. I kept thinking I think it's because I have a 10-year-old now that I was like, this could be like my daughter in a few years. And I'm like,
Well, I think that your daughter will, Ellis would be like, she'd be like, ew. Like that's her response would be like, Or like especially not that anybody watches this show because it's literally for teenagers.
Everybody watches this show.
But I'm obsessed with it. And like the episode in season 1 where Jeremiah is like, I thought we could be more. That would be when Ellis was like, ew.
What made you think that?
I've only liked one boy for years and I've been working on it for a minute. So how about you just back off?
Yeah, actually, we're done.
And then also Conrad would never have like been allowed to be like, I didn't remember. Ellis would be like, yes, you did.
Actually, I have it written down in my diary right here, the time, the minute.
And also we're dating. It's official. Also, the wedding is already set.
That actually...
Go buy me a ring.
Funny story. When Andrew and I were taught... You know, I don't know how the Gen Zers do it now, but like as millennials, you were talking.
Oh my God, I remember the word talking. Because I think now it's like something else. I don't know what it's called.
I can't keep up. I'm trying. I'm like not a super loser millennial, but like I'm not all in.
I own the fact that I'm a millennial. Talking was like a whole thing. Like, yeah, we're talking. That was a big...
And that meant...
I love that you're bringing this up right now.
So Andrew and I were talking for a really long time. And I kept, like, my friends and I were like, yeah, he's definitely going to ask you to be his girlfriend soon, like, officially, whatever. He took me home for Thanksgiving, drove me up to the top of this mountain. Well, it was Mount Scott, so it was like a really big hill. But it was like, I was like, this is how it's going to happen. He's going to ask me to be his girlfriend. And then finally... After many moments in which he could have romantically been like, I would like you to be my girlfriend. This is after like 2 months of talking, 3, maybe even 4. We get back and I start doing the silent treatment. And he's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I just don't understand why you won't ask me to be your girlfriend. I thought we already were. I thought you already were. And I was like, sir, how long have you thought I was your girlfriend?
I'm sorry, but mine beats yours, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Please make me feel better.
No. I'm gonna make you feel real good.
Okay.
I'm now married 7 years to this man and with 2 kids, but like let's just bring it back. He asked me. He says he asked me out sophomore year, and I don't remember that. And that's when I was like, "Here's my sorority sister. You're wanting a date? Like this is her. She can have."
You're like, I'm too busy competing with the Church of Latter-day Saints, handing out
Goodbye.
Bibles.
Yeah, and also at the time I was very Christian, so
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you want with me?" Like it was like, "This is not gonna work." And then had a very unique sophomore year experience with not a Christian boy. Fun times. Yeah, that memory. So then we go back. So junior year happens, like summer before junior year happens, and we see each other at the Thunder Alley, and like we kissed at Thunder Alley or something because it was like building up and blah 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 blah. So we kissed at Thunder Alley, and then I didn't see him for like 4 months because I went and studied abroad. And then I came back, and then he was like, "Are we gonna do this?" And I was like, "Do what?" And he was like, "Are we gonna date?" And I was like, "Or like are we gonna like?"
Yeah.
Basically, he didn't say date. He was like, "Are we gonna do
Be
this?"
talking.
And I was like, "Okay." And so we did. And then it was like 2 or 3 months after that, and I was like, is this official? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And he was like, "I can't be official because he was like, it's just too soon since my last breakup." And I was like, "Okay." So then I was like, "Bye." And I tried to go find a new boyfriend. And then so I was like, "We're not waiting on this." And then like February comes around and Lambda Chi date auction happens. And I'm like, I'm gonna buy him because the only way to get this is to like essentially dominate.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not, I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna win. And so I get there, I'm the only Gamma Phi there. And every Alpha Phi is there. I'm the only Gamma Phi.
Yeah.
I sit in the front row. I stand on my chair when it comes to him. I'm like doing the whole boombox thing. I like stand on my chair. His ex-girlfriend's in the back, but she's not bidding on him. She's having her friend bid on him. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't know what else. I bid more money that night on him than any other girl bid on any of the guys.
You won.
So I bought him for a pretty penny. He then brings me to Vail.
Okay, no, it wasn't Vail. It was Breckenridge.
No, we went to Vail first, and then we went to Breckenridge, is where we saw.
This is crazy. Our paths almost crossed.
So funny. God. Yeah, your family was at Breckenridge with Mitch.
With the
Ponticus
family and my family.
And your family. But
we're there because we had just gotten engaged.
Oh my God, that's right.
Andrew and I had. So Andrew and I went to
Breckenridge.
Breckenridge.
That house was really cool.
That house was so cool. I left and went back with my family because I was teaching and I had to get back and prep for the classroom. And Andrew stayed with his family.
I remember this.
And I left, and like the next day, you and Hunter showed up.
With Brian.
Yeah.
Who we all went skiing in a group. It was me, Hunter, and Brian Cash, which shout out, Brian, I love you.
I know.
But like, it was literally like a group setting.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And the whole situation was bizarre. I love that our paths have like so many times.
I know, isn't that so wild?
No, so this is crazy. This is the absolute craziness. So I've never skied in my life, ever.
Oh dear.
I take one class and then I'm like, we're off to the races. I will win no matter what. I'm the most competitive person you've ever met. So I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to ski. I go down a black diamond.
Stop it.
I then stop mid black diamond because I'm like, I'm gonna break my leg. And I'm competing for Miss Oklahoma mere 3 months later. For the first time, competing for Miss Oklahoma. So I'm like, I literally cannot break my leg because I'm going to win Miss Oklahoma. So I'm like, I didn't know I was going to win Miss Oklahoma, but I was like, I better. And so I scoot down the black diamond. I'm screaming at Hunter. I'm like, how could you do this to me?
Yeah.
And like, this is what happens. So we drive all the way back from Vail, or Breckenridge at this point. We're driving all the way back to Oklahoma City. We drop off Brian Cash. I am like, how many romantic moments?
I almost died on a black diamond, crawled down. Am I your girlfriend yet?
Like, I have sat in the back of your car, listened to the most horrific songs I've ever heard.
Ugh.
Listen to you guys fart for hours. I'm like, at this point, if I don't have a ring.
If it's not a HE double hockey sticks, yes.
Like, don't ever speak to me again.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's crazy because I hate him so much. I hate him in this season so much because the fact that I even let this happen is just, I hate myself. But he was like, that's so crazy because I was going to ask you, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like, yeah. But and now as a 33-year-old woman, I'm like, I would punch him in the face and drive him off the road. I'd be like, no, you don't deserve me.
Yeah. Like
He
I'm
learned
just
some
like picturing
lessons.
you just like run ragged, like twigs in your hair, like frostbite on your fingers, like this is what
We
it
have
took.
listened to how you like your eggs, fried to fertilize, the way you move your hips, girl, make me hypnotized. We listened to that 18 times on the way from Vail to Oklahoma City. And I was like, I'm going to pretend to like this song so that
You've
he
got it memorized.
likes me. Never.
That
My
is
daughters will
that is,
never.
Oh, listen, we have given a lot of advice, and our biggest advice has been don't ever pretend to like music to get a guy.
I had to pretend to like Drake for an entire year for a stupid boy.
I ended up
Never.
pregnant at a Grateful Dead concert.
No, I can't believe this. I can't. So
And then I had to go back.
So when you're watching the worship leader at church, I just hope you know that there have been some stories. Not everyone's perfect. Okay?
Everybody struggles.
We've all struggled before. Okay. That's
Okay,
it.
we got to wrap it up.
Okay. Love you all.
Love you so much.